All right, y'all. So this week you are building soil profile models with what you can find at home. And that's kind of an abstract idea. So to help you, I made an example. And I'm going to walk you through that now, kind of like you'll do on your Flipgrid on Thursday and Friday. So use me as a template. You don't need to use the materials that I used. You can use anything you can find around your house. I did use a lot of food in my model, but please don't be wasteful. For the most part, I did food that was like kind of about to go bad, or I'll still be able to eat once this is over. So here's my model. So you can kind of see there are layers. As you go up my cup, I use a see-through cup, but you could also just lay this out on a piece of paper if that's easier for you, depending on what kind of cups you have at home. So the first layer that I needed to make was bedrock. So, and I know that bedrock is like a solid mass, a really hard thing. So I just found an old Satsuma orange that was like one solid unit to put at the bottom to represent that solid rock, even though I know bedrock is not usually orange. But my next layer is parent material, which is kind of like where bedrock and Earth's crust start to break up and turn into looser pieces. So I used just like some change from our change jar from that because it's still hard. It's not something a plant could grow in, and it's still in large pieces, but it's that process of starting to break down. The next layer, layer B, is subsoil. And that's something that's just rich in nutrients and collected from all these other soils dripping down on it. And it's kind of hard to see, but I used some wheat bread crust because I thought it looked kind of like the consistency of what it would be, and all those oats and seeds kind of reminded me of all the minerals that collect in that layer of soil. Okay. And then if you move up to my next layer, that's the alluviated layer. And that's mostly sand and fine particles. And so I found some panko breadcrumbs in my pantry because they felt like they were the right texture. You know, the texture of sand and silty material is pretty similar to this. We have two more layers. They're pretty easy to see. One is topsoil. Topsoil is where plants grow. It's really moist, healthy material for plants and organisms. I actually used a baked sweet potato that was going bad in my fridge that no one was going to eat. So it's not really the right color. You can see it's got this like yellowish color to it. Topsoil is really normally brown, but the moistness and the nutrients of a sweet potato just made sense in my head to use as topsoil. And then the very top layer is the humus or organic matter, and that is where plants and leaves and animals and bacteria get broken down and kind of turned into topsoil. So in there I have some eggshells and some spinach because A, that's what could go in compost, which is used to make topsoil. And also eggshells and green leaves are things that you could actually find in nature that are being broken down to turn into topsoil. So that's my model, and I hope that helps as you're making yours. You can reference this video to make your model, to make your Flipgrid, or if you're confused about the layers of soil.